sleeping pills help me get back to your arms. Cheap sex and sad films help me get where I belong. I think you're crazy. Maybe I think you're crazy. Maybe. Stop sending letters, always it's not like the movies, the theater song, little white lies. I think you're crazy. Maybe I think you're crazy. I will see in the next I'm the next step, waiting in the wings. I'm an animal trapped in your hot car. I am all the days that you choose.
Diet Coke in there without a beer? What the f were you thinking?
These grown men were hiding in a
Oh, is it not the one that hurts?
I think he's just chill about it.
If it doesn't hurt, then there's not enough. Wait, I really clean my shit off. There we go.
Help!
Oh, is it not the one that hurts?
My name is Banning Lyon. My story is about why I chose to become a backpacking guide in Yosemite National Park and the circumstances that led me to that. After my parents' divorce, things changed really dramatically. My dad just vanished. My mom had basically a nervous breakdown, bedridden, non-functional. She came down with shingles. I just kind of became what she called the man of the house overnight at the age of 11. Overnight, my life really became a very dark, very sad place where I was sort of my own parent. After about 1.5 years or 2 years, I ultimately heard from my dad again, and he was going to be getting remarried. I moved in with him, and the woman that ultimately became my stepmom, she was very young. She was in her late 20s at the time, and she was really into structure and trying to get me to do chores. And so we just butted heads a lot. And ultimately, I lived with them for about 1 year until they sat me down one day and said, "You can't live here anymore. Your mom has full custody. You're living with us as a privilege, and you need to go back and live with her." So I called my mom, told her what had happened, and that I needed to live with her. And she said I couldn't because her place was too small in Southern California. She said, "Just go ahead and fly to Dallas and live with your aunts and uncles until I can meet you there." I flew to Dallas. I lived with my aunt and uncle and my 2 cousins for a while. And then ultimately my mom moved to Dallas about 1 year later. We moved into a small room above my aunt. I was 15. I didn't think anything of it at the time. Granted, my life at the time was a little rough. You know, I mean, I'd been bounced around from house to house, and I suppose there probably were people in my life who were concerned about me, but I knew kids a lot worse off than me at that point in time. I felt like a pretty average suburban kid. Nobody was listening to me, and I think that was one of the most aggravating things for me as a teenager. Adults just had these conversations over my head. They never listened to me. They never took what I had to say at face value. They never treated me like an equal. They just had conversations around me and about me, and I still identify with teenagers to this day for that reason. I'm 52, but I still feel like I'm 16 because I get it. I know what that feels like. They went ahead and signed me into the hospital. I didn't have a choice. It was either that or I run away, which I considered for about 30 seconds. And so I went into the hospital, and we walk in, and I'm just standing in this admissions office, and then they escort me onto this unit with these magnetically locked doors. And so I immediately felt out of place. And as the days went on, they said I'd be there for 2 weeks. So as the days went on, I would meet with a psychiatrist. 2 weeks passed, and 3 weeks, and like, why am I still here? So ultimately, the psychiatrist who had been in charge of me, he sat me down one day and said, "You know, we feel like you have major depression, or you're having a hard time making friendships," which I thought was absurd because they put me on in a unit with a bunch of adults. They said, "We're going to send you to the adolescent long-term unit." It sounded nightmarish. A day or two passes, and they went ahead and transferred me. I walked across the hallway to go to this other unit, and I look in these narrow windows, and the other unit, my adult unit, had been just filled with activity. People smoking and playing cards. It was always noisy. And this unit looked deserted. It just looked sterile. I didn't see anything. This guy comes in, walks me through the doors, and they lock behind me. As I walk down the hallway, I look to my left, and they're having what's called a unit meeting. All the kids are gathered around in a circle. I remember this so vividly. And they all sort of look up at me. As I'm walking, I look in the kind of right-hand corner back of the room, and there's this girl who's strapped to her bed. And she looked like a cave girl. And she just watched me with this, like, horrible look in her eyes, like she was like desperation or despair. And I knew at that moment that something really horrible had happened to me. It was an experience that I will never forget. I thought for a long time that it had ruined my life. It took me a long time to get over all the things that I experienced there. Life with my mom when I was a child, like I said, before the divorce, was wonderful. Afterward, it was, like I said, my mom was bedridden. After a few months, there came a time where she would wake my sister on. My sister and I broke up in the middle of the night. We would sit around the table and we would just talk. My mom would talk. at the end of the rope, and I was 11. I obviously didn't fully comprehend how this was going on, and I had no idea what happened. I didn't understand the circumstances of the divorce. And I got a little off, but I didn't become bad. I was not happy, and my dad was gone. So life in Texas at my house was emotional. I felt sort of abandoned. I felt like I wasn't living with my family or living with my community. Didn't want to. Goodness, no hearts. And I just sort of emotionally didn't go ways. I just knew that there was no reason to have to go as a young because I was just going to be shipped off to this place. And when my mom was there, my life by then was kind of concluded. I was bummed out. I was sad. And as a 15-year-old, I didn't know what depression felt like. Nobody really explained it to me. I was just like, life sucks. Like, I'm 15, life sucks. So I'm open to the idea that people will look at me like because my hair was crazy. I would draw on my clothing, hair. I listened to, band of Black Flag, Red, Descendants. There were a lot of people didn't see it. But yeah, still today, I remember that not being listened to. Trying to explain to people the circumstances of what had happened, and they would just talk to me. They would ignore what I'm saying and ask me questions if they hadn't heard my explanation. And I feel like, especially in the world today, we don't listen to each other. A lot of people don't listen to each other. They're setting their opinions, speak them to other people, whether it's political or whatever they might be. You stop listening to them. While I was in the hospital, it's very hard to explain to what I call family. I don't think they understand what I call hospital. So I was not allowed to go outside. We were not allowed to touch anyone. I wasn't allowed to have private conversations. One of the rules in the hospital was to keep your bedroom closed. So I had a roommate. My roommate was also in the room. She was tied to it. They would ask me to close the door, and I wouldn't do it. And so I kept forgetting this rule. And so each time I forgot it, they would give me basically a punishment. They would say, you have to sit a 30-minute chair. I had to just sit in a chair in the hallway and not say anything or look at anybody. Feet flat on the floor, hands in my lap for 30 minutes. And think about why I left the door open. Like there was some deep psychological reason. Finally, after a month on the adolescent long-term unit, my doctor said, we're putting you on indefinite chair. Any free time, any time in between activities, I had to sit chair. When you're on chair, if you do something that they don't like you to do, like laugh with somebody or make eye contact with someone or fidget, they say you get a test mark because they can't give you a chair because you're already on chair. They put me on what was called permanent chair in room. I had to sit in a chair in my room, facing the wall, literally like a foot or two from the wall, facing the wall. When summer arrived, I was sitting in a permanent chair in my room for as many as 10 to 12 hours a day sometimes. I ultimately lost meal privilege. I had to eat meals in my chair, in my room, facing the wall. So I had lost all privileges. I had no privileges at all. And then thank God school came back. Once school was right, I mean, it was the first time in history high school was like, yes, thank God school, because once summer was over, I got to get off my chair for about 3 to 4 hours during school. You never relaxed. It was very quiet. Staff members would walk by my door every 15 minutes and make sure I was there. And sometimes a few staff member was in between those windows at 15 minutes just to see if I was doing something wrong. So what I discovered after a couple days on chair was if I tipped my chair backward and I rocked slowly, it would make the screen kind of disappear and I could see the outside a little more clearly. So I would learn to rock on my chair and look out the window and I could see this tree kind of outside my window. My only joy in life was to see that tree. The hospital was also an incredibly violent, scary place. Some people who were in restraints had been in restraints for so long that they had sort of just been dehumanized. One girl had been in restraints. From my understanding now, she was ultimately in restraints, in bed restraints, tied to her bed for 18 months. During that time, she did not have a bath or shower. Another friend of mine from the unit, he wound up being in bed restraints for 333 days. He needed physical rehab to learn how to walk again. There would be times that those people, staff would annoy them. And when you're in restraints, you have nothing left to lose. So you just kind of lose it. You just get angry. I saw a lot of really violent, horrible stuff. People would start slamming their heads into the wooden headboard of their bed, like trying to split their heads open, or people would tear out their hair, try to gouge out their own eyes. They would bite themselves and claw themselves, and they would scream. Like, the sound for me is like, to this day, since I was ultimately in chair in my room, a lot of my experience of what I remember of restraints was the sound, disembodied screaming and shrieking, and not being able to see it was almost worse, because then your imagination dreams up things that are terrible. And so the hospital just became a very terrifying, very scary, very sad place. So after a while, I began to sort of just dissociate. It was like something inside of me separated from reality and was like, just became very numb, because you just can't live with that stuff every day. And the reality of it, the pain of it, the severity of it, all of it, just, you can't bear it that long. And so there just comes a time where it became very numb, and new people would show up and see it happen and cry, and I would just look at them like I felt like a robot. And it's profoundly affected my life, like my relationships. So many things in my life are affected by this like dissociative sort of impulse that I have now. I've been on the unit for maybe a few weeks. The first girl left, and she had been on the unit for 3 years. Her insurance was pulling her, and she was crying. She was like, I don't want to leave. And I was like, what the hell? Like, why would somebody not want to leave here? And that was terrifying to see. Like, she was this beautiful blonde girl, and I was like, why is this like really apparently normal person not acting normal? Why does she want to live on a psychiatric unit and stay here after being here for 3 years? So the whole hospital became sort of a game to me, where I'm dissociated, I'm numb, people leave when their insurance runs out. How can I make that happen for myself? So I was like, okay, well, the kids who leave act this way and say these things. I will act that way and say those things. So I began to like play a role. I would adopt sort of a persona, try to leave. And that was my whole goal. My whole goal there was to leave. And so I would go into therapy with my doctor. Be like, well, my parents divorced. I felt really sad and abandoned. But then they would tell me, this is performative. Like, you're just saying these things. You don't really seem to feel these things. Yeah, that's true, because if people got angry or raised their voice, they got tied to a bed. I just found a way to sort of take what was true to me, or what I was feeling, and apply it. And then ultimately, after I've been on the unit for 9 months, 8 months, my insurance said, we're pulling you. And I was like, hallelujah. They gave the hospital like 3 to 4 months to get me out and find a home for me. So ultimately I was sent to a halfway house in Dallas, and that took place after I'd been in the hospital. When I began the process of leaving the hospital, I understood that blonde girl suddenly. I knew why she was afraid to leave the hospital. The first time I left the hospital, my first pass was to a bowling alley. It was during the day. I remember walking into this bowling alley, and there were so many sounds. There were people bowling, and there were arcade games and lights, and people would talk over each other. Conversations were not controlled. People would yell and laugh. The whole world just seemed like really chaotic and hard to tolerate. So by the time I left the hospital, I kind of realized like something inside of me, it's broken. I felt like I was totally not prepared to deal with the real world anymore. I felt worse when I left the hospital, way worse than when I went in. The halfway house was intended to sort of give me this controlled environment where I could kind of reintroduce myself to the real world. It helped. I mean, the halfway house was great. I loved it. We would all eat dinner together and cook, and we were responsible for our own laundry, our own grocery shopping. We had to kind of do our own bills. We didn't have a lot of restrictions, and life was really up to us. I had to take a public bus to school, but across the street was this graveyard. And so every night we would all just go across the street to the graveyard and sit in the back of the graveyard and watch. There was a drive-in movie theater like a block away, and we would watch. They always seemed to show The Shining. They showed The Shining a lot, so we would sit in the back of the graveyard and watch The Shining. I realized very quickly that something had been sort of damaged in me. It wasn't until in my 20s or 30s that I began to realize or learn or read about how, like, in your teens, your prefrontal cortex, your brain essentially is rebooting. Whatever situation you're living in as a teenager, whatever you're experiencing, it's programming you for adulthood. Throughout my life after the hospital, whether it was people I dated or friends, people who are wounded tend to find each other. There are so many people in the world who, just like me, have these wounds that make them feel as if they're completely alone, like nobody else is wounded like them, like we're each an individual jigsaw piece. I went through my life feeling very much like those people. I'm gonna get kind of emotional, but I love those people so much because in each of them, I not only saw a reflection of myself and my wounds, but I realized all of us are not individual broken jigsaw pieces. We're all from the same puzzle. We all belong to the same puzzle. And our wounds, when we share them, they unite us. And you realize that there are not as many differences between us as you think there are. When I turned 39, I'd gone through what amounted to basically 2 suicide attempts in my life. I made a decision. I was like, I'm going to change my life. Like, I cannot live like this anymore. So I became a backpacking guide. I'll never forget, there was this one trip where I was with my boss, and this guy who was this big Marine was about to cross this creek with his wife, and he sat down on a log and he started crying. And this guy was like this big, burly dude, and he's crying. I'll never forget this. I'm gonna start tearing up. They all 3 stand up together, the wife, the husband, and my boss. They all walk into the creek together. It's like a baptism. They walk into the creek together, and they cross it. That walk up was awesome. It was phenomenal. My boss looks at me like she's pulling a walk, and she goes, he booked this trip because his brother drowned crossing the river, and he wanted to finish crossing one for him. And I remember thinking, like, this is why, without exception, that happens every trip. My book, my memoir is called The Chair in the Valley. It took me 6 years to write it. My amazing wife supported me through all of it. I wrote my book because I want people to understand that our wounds and our trauma don't need to define us anymore. Those things are not who we are. We are not the things that happen to us. And that nature, at least for me, and I think for many other people through what I've witnessed, is a key part of that if we just give it a chance.
No. Wow. Well, that sucks. They made me go all the way back, man. That sucks. Like, that absolutely sucks. Wow. gothic sounding. You ready? Dude, the music here is fucking awesome. It's cool as shit. Like, very gothic. I like it. Was it snowing? Hold on. yes. Hold. Wait, which one is? Wait, it's 9:33. What the fuck? How's it like 9:33? I'm thinking it's like 7 o'clock still. Oh, was it? My feet are cold. Ugh. Ugh. Ay. Yeah, it kind of sucks not having, any... The class doesn't have any, or the job, I should say, doesn't have any, health... Doesn't have, like, proper, mitigation. Shit. Is that all? That can't be all. Failure? How the hell am I fail? That's a bullshit. Elusive jump. Execute a jump to a location 15 yards behind you. Alright. Level 40, oh my god. Alright. Let me see. This is a, Oh! Okay. That's the. Alright, let me put that on W. No, I'll put that on R. The music here is dope as hell, I like it. Alright, let's see. Alright. MSQ time again. Huh? Alright. Jumping in. Jumping through. Alright, Eneon. Huh? Now, this is what I mean. They need a recolor of like the area they have marked because like I cannot see that fucking color, man. What the hell? Actually, hold on, hold on. Maybe I didn't think about this until now. Let's see. Does that help? No, that's actually worse. Worse. I'm not that bad. Oh man. Nah. Like, there should be an option to like let you like recolor certain aspects of the UI. Oh, look at that. Cause I couldn't see that at all. I was like, I didn't even know where the hell the markers were. Alright, so... Oh, okay, hold on. Let's bring up. Dude, my entire YouTube feed now is like mental disorders. Fucking head, Charlie. So we're level 35. Alright, so now True Shot, or not True Shot, True Thrust, Disavow, True Thrust, Warful Thrust, Full Thrust, times 4. Alright. Okay, so like openers start at level 70. Prior to that, your opener does not matter. Just push buttons. At least they're honest. Alright. Jump should always be used on cooldown. Piercing Talon. Elusive Jump can enhance it as such. Okay. Elusive Jump can enhance it, and as such, the two should generally be paired when downtime is forced. I would say that what if I did jump, or no, what if I did, oh no, and then, yeah, there you go. Whoa, what the hell? That's a good disengage kind of thing, really. Dude, I out-level everything here. I'm like, well, maybe I should level another class. Or not another class, but like another, job. I was thinking about doing that. I'm like, what level should this even be? Level 28. I'm like 8 or 7 levels above it. Yeah, I'm gonna plow this. God. I don't know, but I'm like gonna change that in my other HUD. like deja vu all over again, and I'm like, oh right, because I've been here. I killed the Lancer dude here. Yeah, it worked. Alright, enough light. Oh, it's down there. Fuck. And I don't remember this. I know I did it before, but I have no memory of it. Hmm. Alright. A winged eyeball. Uh-oh. Here we go again. Alright. Alright, we had a feint. Here we go. Oh. Ha! I got nothing from that. That was dumb. Oh well. Search for a maintenance corpse west of Fallguard. Right here, yes. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I mean, like, I out-level everything. That's why it also is boring, too. Like, you basically just out-level shit. No, not then. Power of Deduction. What a horrible title. Who came up with that? Okay. Well, you weren't much help. Alright. Renania, was that old Renania? Yeah, answer no. I can literally run there. Alright. Manservant. Oh, I remember this. Okay. I know where this is going. Alright, cut. Shut up. Yep, I know. I know where it's going. Yep. Dungeon time. There we go. There. Oh. Hawkswell Manor. We got Succubus. in the manifest physical plane by forcing their souls into the bodies. When this is right to it to interact. Oh, triple triad. Okay, you can get a. How do you get this card? And then there's all the. Ooh. Damn. Oh. Oh. Okay, now I can see why people want to do this shit. Alright, let's go. Alright, what do we gotta do? I vaguely remember this. I know I did it once before, but it was like a year ago. Stay with the bottom floor first. Oh, apparently they got hit. Oh. How the hell did they get hit by so many? What the hell is that? The hell is that? No idea. A tiny key. Oh, what the heck? I didn't even see those guys. Help me. Oh shit. Fine, is that a pot of fine wax? That's all I got? Hey, man. Kidding me? That's all you can spare? Was that it? Manor Ray. Damn it.
Alright.
Making sure I got all the areas here. Did I at all? Because I can't even tell. Do the information. There's an ivory door. Uh-oh. Looking at a pair of manor sandals. That's an upgrade. Alright, come on. Upgrade that shit. Doesn't hurt. Okay, got everything. Making sure I get every nook and cranny in here. Oh yeah, you might have noticed I changed the, my race. I don't know why. Just because. Alright, no. Why would I go down here? There's things down here. Enemies. And there's a key. Wait a minute. Do I want to go in here? Is that an upgrade? Hold on. That's an upgrade. Hell yeah, you that shit. This is up there. How do I have my head? Alright, the enhancements are okay. They're just. Alright. Yellow is what I need. Alright. Actually got an A rating. Oh, alright. Out of the way! Out of the way! Asshole! That is an upgrade. Yes, indeed. Hot in the fan. Look at me. Help. Okay, now we can actually go in the Carnation door. We have Manor Jester and Manor Steward. Interesting. Alright. Okay. Alright. That was very simple. Ooh, look at that. We got an ethereal malachite ring. Which is probably, good for, yeah, yeah. Ethereal flow. Utilize shortcut? Was I supposed to go this way? Well, I want to make sure that I covered everything because I'm like... I think I did? Yeah. Alright. Defeat Lady somebody or other. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, up here. I didn't even go up here. Oh, yeah, more enemies? Yeah. So what's the deal? Can't go this way, right? Yep. Alright. Oh. Eyeball. Is she a vampire? Oh my goodness, hello. Oh no, I don't want. Oh no, get out of here, get out of here. It's like I want to make sure this whole place is covered. I'm gonna take care of that. There we go. That's what I wanted to make sure. I was like, hold on. Unbreakable Knuckles. Well, that would be probably for the other guy. Okay, so that's all of it. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I got the achievement. I'm like, hold on. Something's not right here. Oh, well, I guess. Yep. Look away, look away, look away! Aww. You won the game again! You did it! You won! Alright, what are we at? Looking for a job I don't have, right? Enter... That's a cool dungeon. I like that dungeon. Darkness is falling. Yeah. Right off ring. Yep. That was a thing. Alright, Zanya, right? Yeah. Damn it. Come on. Well, I've gotten this far. Fault in you. Yep. She joined the dark side. Okay, will this be the moment? Probably not, okay. No, that's not the moment. I'm like really... I've really out-leveled this shit. Skeletons. Yeah. Not quite. Okay, this should be the lead up.
The Maelstrom requests our assistance.
Concerning the kobolds they sent such copious notes on, I presume?
Yes. And no. It has more to do with their findings, which portend a peril far greater than any beast tribe.
What sort of peril?
The worst kind. A tribe of kobolds in the vicinity of Limsa Lominsa has reawakened Titan.
Oh, here we go. Fighting time.
Our task will be to slay the Primal. The Maelstrom have sworn support for the endeavor. They are no strangers to the havoc kobolds can wreak.
Years before the Grand Company's reformation, two primals, Leviathan and Titan, chanced to converge upon the sea wall, wreaking untold devastation. There, by the grace of the Navigator, were the mercenaries Merlwyb hired able to fend them off. Yet it did not take long for the beast tribes to regroup, and they summoned their primals once more.
Thankfully, their second coming was decidedly short-lived, but that is beside the point. So long as tormented souls will them to exist, the realm will never be rid of primals.
The Maelstrom has kept a watchful eye upon the beast tribes, and the kobolds in particular, ever since. Which brings us to the matter at hand.
Unlike Ifrit, we know scarcely anything of Titan. Unfortunately, the only force known to have bested him, the modestly named Company of Heroes, disbanded 5 years since, and mercenaries are not in the habit of keeping chronicles.
Expect the worst. The Maelstrom's help is of course appreciated, but even if we had their whole armada at our disposal, we could still find ourselves overmatched. A pity the kobolds
Shouldn't we
lack the
outmatched?
gentle sensibilities of the sylphs. A peaceful resolution would be more than welcome. The Echo will not avail you this time, I fear. If you are to survive, your steel must needs speak for you. No one would think you a coward were you to decline.
No, I can't do it.
So you will accept?
I'm going home.
Thank you.
We can't very well send her to Limsa Lominsa without Y'shtola. Can we,
Y'shtola.
Minfilia?
Oh, thank you.
May I ask that of you, Y'shtola?
I never thought it in question.
Ever reliable. Very well. We will spare no effort to win victory. You may count on the full support of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. And all not afield will aid the fight from afar. Thancred, Ida, go to the Grand Companies. Tell them of our plight and solicit their support. Urianger, send word to the students of Baldessian, and Alphino if you would. Papalimo, compile all the information we have on Titan, little though it may be. You will be apprised of the tactical situation when you reach the Sailor's Ward.
Oh no. Oh no.
Provision yourself for the journey. May you walk in the light of the crystal.
Yeah. Here comes the fun. So you might be asking, oh, what's so bad about this part? Oh. You like running around a lot and gathering shit? And coming up with recipes? Let's see, Ishimura. Here we go. Seems like everybody hangs out here for some reason. Oh. Oh, no, no, no. We ain't doing that, homie. Oh. God damn it. Ah, man, I don't want to fucking do this. I hate this part. Ugh. The reason why I don't want to do it is because it takes forever to do, mainly. And it's all a build up for, like, a very... I don't know. Kind of a letdown, in my opinion. Alright, off we go, here we go. Oh shit, it's 11 o'clock? Yeah. Oh, we got a bot. It's kind of boring. I'm getting out of that. Destroy the rat nest. You know, it's a whole thing. Like, oh my god, I hate this. It's the most boring part of the whole thing. But, gotta do what you gotta do. Oh, there we go. Oh, there's another one. Hey, why is he still in free stance? Hold on. Oh man. Are you kidding me? Oh. He leveled up, I didn't even know that. He should be in defense. search for a full moon west of blah blah blah. This ain't nothing. It's done. Yay. And away we go. A new area. Eastern Londo Scott. So we gotta do a search. Okay. Hooray, new music. Yep. Yeah, here we go. I'm not looking forward to this part. Matter of fact, I'm gonna register this. Yeah. Yep, hi Dry Rich, we'll talk to you in a moment. I thought this was the Lord of Frap. No pressure. Alright, I'm ending it here. Save it for tomorrow. I don't want to burn myself out. This whole quest line is really dull, though. Like, trust me. It's like the one that I can't really stand. Alright, anyway. Bye-bye.